Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I just read The Vulture Lord by Richard Strachan, and half of it was really cool. So the premise is as follows. 1,000 years ago, King Zotar made a deal with Nagash to bring back his dead son. In typical Nagash fashion, however, he granted Zotar his wish, with some unrequested additions. Zotar was made a Bone Reaper Lord, and tasked with raising all of the Obsidian Coast, except for the City of Lament. In this city, a sort of Hunger Games is held each decade, and the victor of the games will become a host for the soul of Zotar's son. Half of this book follows Lycus, this decade's winner, as he slowly gets integrated into Zotar's necropolis. Meanwhile, however, trouble is brewing in the City of Lament, and the people are preparing a rebellion. This forms the second storyline of the book. Will the cycle of rebirth finally end? And even if it does, at what cost? Well, you gotta read the novel if you want to find that out. My favorite thing about this one is the insights we get into the necropolis of the Bone Reapers during the Lycus storyline. For an example, we get to learn a bit more about the Soul Mason's craft and about the army structure and the tactics of the Bone Reapers. It was also quite nice to see how they all had different personalities despite being undead constructs. Another great thing about the Lycus storyline was how morally grey the Bone Reapers are made out to be. Sure, Cytos claims a child every 10 years and wants all the remains of the dead in Lament, but in turn, all of the horrors of the mortal realms are dealt with. There are no Chaos Warbands coming to raid the city, or destructive greenskin hordes cruising by. All of these are killed long before they reach the city, by the Bone Reapers of course. Compared to many other cities in the mortal realms, Lament really isn't half bad. This storyline also had quite some emotion in it. It is written in first person from the perspective of Lycus, and thus we get a front seat to all of the stuff that he goes through. Can't say much about that without spoilers though, and the ending of the storyline is really nice as well. None of that holds true, however, for the other storyline. This one is told in third person and from the perspective of three main characters, all of which are competing for being the most boring character in the book. There's a friend of Lycus who starts getting into the Sigmarite faith, but it doesn't really go anywhere except for some random stuff at the end of the book. There's a rival who has the likability of Post-Nail Angron, but lacks any tragic backstory. And then finally there's the mother, who is sad that her son is gone, but doesn't really do anything meaningful in the novel furthermore. There's also no character development in these three, and they don't exactly do much exciting either. The only interesting thing that these characters contribute to the novel are the effects that their actions have on Lycus, but the impact of these actions we all learn about in the Lycus parts anyway, and not really in their parts. In other words, you could leave out their entire part and the novel would be pretty much the same, except for one or two lines that would have to be integrated into the Lycus part. The final thing I liked about this novel is that it takes place in some random place in Shyash, without any big name characters involved. A lot of Age of Sigmar books make the mistake of dropping in some clickbait characters that remove all tension from the story. This book doesn't do so, and takes place in a completely unexplored area of the realm, which keeps things exciting and interesting. So all in all, I'm giving this one a solid 3 to 5 handsome boys. The Vulture Lord is the first storyline that's captivating, emotional and interesting from a lore perspective. Not to mention that Zotar and his retinue are pretty cool. Sadly, half of the book is spent on a trio of boring idiots that share a single brain cell. Oh yeah, and their storyline also ends on a random cliffhanger, so you don't even get an ending for that part. Anyway, that's all I got for you today.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing and click ringing the bell to appease the Great Horned Rat. For more lore content, please check my main channel and leave any book recommendations in the comments down below. I gotta get back to reading the next book.